Okay, so I thought I'd do a lesson on some outside playing. What I mean by outside is you're sort of going out of the harmony, and I think you'll hear it in the video, the intro, what I did. You'll hear the parts where I went outside, and it's got that sound of like Guthrie Govan, Osnoy, Tom Quayle, Wayne Krantz, that kind of sound to it, if you like that, which I've learned a lot of stuff with outside playing, just watching them and transcribing sort of licks and stuff they've done. So there's many different ways you can get outside sound. What you're really doing with the outside playing is creating tension, and then you're resolving it. Okay, so tension and release, that's what we call it. So there's many different ways we can create that with outside playing. So I'm just going to be going over a few today, just to get you started, because it's a very confusing topic for a lot, and it goes on from the melodic minor lesson I did last time, so we can incorporate that in this. So the track I used was actually a Jack Gardiner track, and he's also very much into that kind of stuff, so I will post below his links to his website and YouTube and stuff where you can buy it, but yeah, highly recommend checking him out anyway. So the groove at the start was in E, okay, E minor, or just, you can think of it as E, because it's almost like a blank template. You can play pretty much anything when it's that static, and it's a really good practice tool to be able to play outside if you haven't done it before. Obviously if you're playing like in 2-5-1, or there's chances to go outside over that 5 chord and stuff, and I talked about the 5 chord and the altered scale last time, but I just want to talk about this kind of groove where you're just playing a kind of static thing and trying to create different sounds over that. So there's many different things we can use. So the first thing obviously we need to understand is, okay, the key in this sense is E minor, so I can play E minor pentatonic. If it's a minor 7 kind of thing, so E Dorian, that would be my kind of go-tos, okay, and then going on from the last lesson I talked about, the melodic minor would be the third. So if I just play a bit and just over that groove, so this would be your pentatonic, okay. Okay, so pentatonic works great. So shoved in the blues note there as well, obviously that's going to be great. Next thing would be the Dorian scale. So the Dorian scale is a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and then back to the 1. So this is going to work nicely if I target that 6. Okay, so that's the sound of the Dorian. Going on from the last lesson, I did the melodic minor, which is adding that major 7th, which sounds like this. Okay, so that's going to sound nice. Okay, so just whittling around on that. So that gives you a good start of how to get kind of an outsidey sound with the melodic minor. So going on from the last lesson, the next thing we need to do is a simple, on paper it sounds simple, but articulating it can be a bit difficult, is sidestepping. So what that means is I'm taking a scale, say in this case I'm just going to use, well, you can use anything. So I'll use a pentatonic scale, just so you can see it easy. So I'll use the first position pentatonic. okay? And what I'm going to be doing is sidestepping. So here's E, I'm going to be going up to F. Or I could go E flat. But where I need to put it is a big choice. Because I don't just want to play it just randomly, because it's going to sound out of tune. I'll show you what I mean. So if I just play this, right, and I start, so I'm in E, right, so if I just start on F, it just sounds out of tune, and I just sound like, you know, it's not really going to be pleasing for the ear. And just before I go on from that, another good thing is with the outside playing, well, it is a good thing if you do this, do not overuse it. And I probably use it a bit too much, but don't start doing it all the time, because it can get a bit annoying for the listener, especially. If you're playing by yourself, fine, if you want to test it out, but, you know, just give you that advice, because the normal, you know, ear listening, they're a bit lost, so you don't want to lose the listener as well. So yeah, where I put that is very important. Where I go outside, so where I sidestep, is very important. So a good way to think of it, say if I have 4 bars, think of it like where a drummer would put a fill at the end of a bar, right? So I might do 3 bars, just like inside, I'm going to call it inside playing. And then on the 4th bar, on the, you know, when it comes back around, I might change it up and then sidestep. Okay, so here we go. So, right, okay, so 1, 2, 3. And here, outside, and then come back in. So I don't want to be outside too much, because you really have to get back in, and what I said before was about bringing that tension back and resolving it. So what I would do is play E minor pentatonic. I'm just going to keep things really simple. On the video at the start, and the improvisation, you can see where I do it more often. But I'm going to keep it really straightforward here. So I'm thinking E minor pentatonic, and then I'm just going to be sidestepping to F, and then coming back to E when the time is right. So I'll give you an example. Okay, so did you hear that then? I just moved out for that tiny bit, and then it came back in. So that's giving me that kind of outside kind of feel. I'll do it again. So that's the melodic minor. So I was just in position 4 of E minor pentatonic, if you don't know it, and I was trying to make it very obvious, but I was sidestepping at the point where I needed to, and then to bring it back in, for the outside playing to be fulfilled, I have to land back in my E minor pentatonic or E Dorian or whatever you're doing. So that is one way you can do it, sidestepping, and you can sidestep each way. So like, I could go E, then F, then E, then back to E flat. Okay, so you can do that and make it. I'll make it really obvious again. So. So I just went E to F, back to E flat, and then resolve back to E. And then resolve back to B. So you can do this with the scale as well. So say if I'm playing E Dorian, I would move up to F Dorian, and then resolve it. So it's resolving it at the right time is difficult. This does take time. So I'll give you an example of that. Okay, so it's just E Dorian back to F Dorian, and then coming back to E. So this is one way I'm going to be looking at outside play. Try that first. I'm going to do a second lesson on outside stuff tomorrow, but I think keeping this short lessons, 10 minutes or so long, is going to be beneficial in you to take it in. So like I say, there's many concepts you can use, but just try and get in the scale that you're comfortable with, you know, even if it's just pentatonic. Go a side step up or side below, but then come back in. That's how you can create some tension. And I'll be looking at the half whole diminished scale as well, and whole tone. And yeah, and then we'll have a look at some Lydian dominant stuff, but just try and get the simple concept of side step, because I think that's a good way to get introduced, because it's a simple thing on paper, but like I was saying, articulating it can be tricky when you first do it, and you have to do it at the right time. So yeah, give that a go. Let me know how you do, and please subscribe. Write in the comments below what you want to see or hear, and any advice you want me to give. I'll happily respond to each and every one. So best of luck.